but hers looks really good. Fuck. We talked about this. Didn't we? We talked about this. We talked about this and this and this and this and this. We talked about this. We didn't talk about that, I guess. Nope. Could be the shutter. Oh, Kokichi's clothes. Why were they flushed? No? No. It wasn't Kokichi's disappearance. I'm gonna fail again. Oh god. Fuck! Monokuma! If Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is, what evidence needs to be analyzed again? The file? Fuck. I'm gonna fail again! No! Not like this! You're home at a good time? Yeah, you are. We've talked about most of this shit. Bloodstain in the bathroom? Oh my god. No! I don't want to fast forward again. It's gonna happen. No! I don't know. I don't know. Kibo? We already talked about him. Don't tell me. You can just laugh at me. God damn it. The quest... I know it's not what I haven't talked about. It's what we need to look at again. But I don't know what we need to look at again. The murder video?
This is it.
Oh, thank you, God!
Let's discuss the video of Kaito being crushed by the hydraulic press. Kokichi said that he filmed that video to prove he was not the victim. But we know that Kokichi was trying to mislead Monokuma. So what about the video? It's pretty strange to present evidence that condemns you after all.
Then what kind of mistake was Kokichi trying to get me to make?
Maybe he crushed Kaito with a hydraulic press, so the cause of death would be unknown?
But if that were the only objective, there would be no need to film it. Discovering the crushed body would have been enough. No need to show us the film.
That's true.
I guess you're starting to fit in after all. If you get any cuter, I'm gonna hug you.
She came around quick.
Really?
There must be a reason you went out of your way to show us the body being crushed.
No reason, really. That's just my twisted personality.
Lies. You're lying again, Kokichi. There's a method to your madness. If you wanted Monokuma to make a mistake, then showing us the video must have something to do with trying to fool Monokuma. Taking the video of the murder, but keeping the victim's identity hidden. What does it show? What doesn't it show? Oh, shit! Victim. World record!
The victim.
Huh?
Is it even possible? No, that's a question for later. For now, we know that...
If you show the moment of Kaito's death, of course it would lead us to believe he died. Even if we can't positively identify the body, we would still believe Kaito was the victim. And that might be exactly the mistake Kokichi was going for.
Does that mean the victims were switched?
Switched?
Then it was some other dead body that got crushed by the hydraulic press?
What? Where would he even get another body?
There should be plenty to choose from if you reuse the body of a former victim.
Oh god, not reusing former victims' bodies again.
There was an unknown body. Then we could guess the victim was switched. But too bad. Switching the victims was impossible. The footage showed the body being crushed. When in the footage would they have been able to switch the victim?
When they pause, they could like pause the video. He said it had play and pause features. He could record part, pause it, move the body, switch it out, and then hit play again.
And we already established that the footage was not doctored in any way.
And that wouldn't count as doctoring the
The
footage.
camera doesn't have any editing functions.
See? Pause.
Just play, record, and pause. Monokuma also said that no computer was used to edit the footage. Remember?
Damn it! Me and my big mouth!
Thanks, Monokuma.
Which means switching out the victim would not be possible. Also, if the victim was switched, then that would mean Kaito is still alive. We already discussed this so many times. The chance of that happening is impossible.
It might be possible.
Huh?
There could be a trick to make the switch possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
Oh, and what trick is that? See? You don't know, do you? I already said it's impossible.
Maki's not wrong. There is a way it could be done.
There is?
So we can't just give up here.
Hey, Shuichi. I'll think harder about this as well.
Yeah, you gotta work hard to redeem yourself,
So,
Maki.
can you
I'm
confirm
pissed
whether
at
or
you
not the
still.
victims switch places? If Kaito is alive or not?
Maki.
I don't like the thought that I killed Kaito. I don't want that.
Okay then.
Poofy!
Let's talk about the possibilities that Maki-ro mentioned.
She's not redeemed
Kimiko.
yet.
If you call her that again...
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Then let's all talk it over together.
Together. Together. I fight for my friends!
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Jeez, you guys are a stubborn bunch. There's no trick.
That's probably another lie.
Got him.
If the victims were switched, then that would mean the footage was altered. How could it have been altered when we know that the footage wasn't edited?
If we could figure that out, maybe we'd know how they switched places. I knew there was a trick to that video the whole time. Kokichi made it, so it's 100% suspicious.
True. A trick to that video. What could it be? What's suspicious about it? Start.
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out.
And you.
There is no trick. You can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in that video.
It is kind of a weird angle. Shot with a camera from the Exisal.
Was it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Could it be that the video was shot at another location?
Any other bright ideas?
I wish I could watch it. Again. Wait, look in the reflection. Can you see anything? You might be able
Come on,
to.
everybody, speak up!
I feel like someone said something that gives us a clue. If we put our heads together, we can find the smallest hope. We won't fall into
There
despair.
must be some trick to that video.
Yeah, I wish you could watch it from the
That's what you
Truthful
all gotta
menu
figure
again.
out.
There is no trick.
Because it
You can
didn't
check,
speed
but
up
there's
when
no
we tried.
editing function in that camera.
When like Kiba was in it, it was a
Placement of that camera
constant
seems
speed the
suspicious
whole
to
way
any of
down.
you? The filming angle little seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in
So
that
it's
video,
weird that it sped up.
was it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief.
No? You think so too, right, Shuichi? The hydraulic press wouldn't stop when I lay underneath it, but it did stop for Kaito. This is obviously robophobia. I'll never forgive that bigoted hydraulic press.
Oh no!
Okay.
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out.
I don't think it's
There
his
is no
coat
trick.
or the bomb. I don't think the shutter is relevant here.
You can check, but there's no.
It's either the video, the press. The hydraulic press's controls are a short distance away from the device itself. There are two buttons labeled up and down. The body was crushed by the press and is unidentifiable. It's shot in a way where you can't see if anybody's at the buttons.
Camera.
Did the
Yeah,
placement
it might
of
game
that
over
camera seem
again.
suspicious
It
to
probably
anyone?
will.
The
Hopefully
filming
the,
angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in that video,
Hopefully the checkpointing
was
is
it
better.
really
here.
Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Could it be that the video was shot at another
I
location?
don't think it's that.
Any other bright ideas?
I'm gonna try this on Kibo's line. Because that's what sticks out to me.
The
person in that, was it really Kaito?
And if it's not this, it might be
Off about that when the
Samugi's
hydraulic press
statement. Yes! Easy. Consent!
Kibo is onto something. Isn't it weird that the hydraulic press stopped for a second? Because when Kibo and I first investigated that hydraulic
Yup,
press,
it was one speed the whole way down. If it had done that with Kibo, he'd be a goner. I love that combat roll.
That's right. The hydraulic press kept
Do a
lowering itself
barrel
without
roll.
stopping.
but in the video,
Yeah, it goes. Eeeeee. Boom!
The
Play it frame by
hydraulic press
frame.
Stopped briefly, right before it crushed the body.
But why would it stop?
Wait, if it did stop, that would mean Maki is the blackened, because he was. Yeah, because he wasn't dead. Wait, no, that would mean she's not the blackened, because he was still. The poison didn't kill him. Why did the press stop? There's only one reason I can think of. Minesweeper. Whoops. The weirdest mini game. By weirdest, I mean I'm bad at it. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm terrible. Yikes! What's the question? Why did the hydraulic press come to a stop? I think it's the safety button. Clear!
I see it.
It's so weird that some of his voice lines are like sound effects and not voice lines. They're so quiet.
The only way to stop the hydraulic press is the force stop button.
An electro
Use
bomb
the
went off in
force
hangar, which
stop
would have
button.
interfered with the safety function. There'd be no way to stop the hydraulic press unless someone used the force stop button.
When you say someone, you mean Kokichi, right? He was the only one there.
Actually, maybe I pressed it by accident. I don't really remember. So what of it? The press only stopped for like a sec. You can't switch the victim in such a short time, can you?
That's true.
There's also the question of how the bodies got switched while the camera was rolling. That would have clearly been caught on camera.
While the camera was rolling.
Oh, I see. It wasn't just the press that stopped.
Huh? Huh? What do you mean?
If you stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic press.
I see it now. That's how the bodies were switched. If you stopped that, you could have swapped the bodies easily. Oh my god, another Mind's Mine? 2 in a row? Why do you do this? Probably the camera. What are my options? A Granada, camera, or the hammer? Oh, it's the camera. Pretty freaking sure, dude. Boom. 2 mines in a row.
The culprit stopped the video camera at the same time as the hydraulic press. Then, while the camera was off, they switched the body under the hydraulic press. After the body was swapped, the press and the camera were started simultaneously. So it just looks like the press stopped for a moment.
That's what I've been saying this whole time!
When did you ever say that?
So they
This whole
stopped at
time.
the same
Obviously.
time.
That's what he said.
The camera position did seem odd to me. But now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there.
Huh? Why?
To get the trick we just described to work, the camera had to be set up precisely.
Let's pin that down. Where was the camera set up? It was like here. It was up by the safety controls. Maybe it was set up right next to the press? No, that's not what I was picking. God damn it, Shuichi. That's not where I clicked. I wanted to click up by the controls. Checkpoint was in the good spot this time. Because it was like up here.
There!
There. See, I knew what I wanted. It was just
The video camera
outside
must
the
have been
area a
set
little
up
bit.
somewhere around here. To operate the press and the camera at the same time, you would have to be near the switch.
That's why the video was taken from that unnatural angle. If they were recording it like normal, they would have used a better angle.
And if it was recorded at such an odd angle,
I think you're right,
then
Drexel.
that proves the trick was used.
Camera.
I think you are
huh?
correct.
Looks like your cosplayer experience is finally useful. Well, cosplay doesn't really come up all that much in class trials.
Well, cosplay was important enough to be one of the 16
was a reason
emissaries
the
of
camera was set up,
humanity into the
But
cosmos.
also a reason for the
Apparently.
hype.
It was high up enough so you couldn't see the body.
When the press was stopped, you couldn't really see who was inside it, correct? That was intentional. The body is mostly hidden by the press, making the swap easier.
The camera must have been placed at such a high position.
Oh yeah, they were
so it would
immune.
reduce
They didn't
that
get
angle.
picked. You're right. They were immune to the
I wonder
coronavirus.
if they used that tripod in the hangar to adjust the camera's height.
Did they get that from the warehouse too? Jeez! That place is like a 4D pocket!
You don't get to make that reference.
Then, that logic is correct, right? Kokichi used that video angle trick and switched the victim in the hydraulic press.
Or Kaito used that video angle trick.
In that case, Kaito is...
Before he was crushed by the press, he was swapped with a different body.
Cool, he still died of poison and or Ebola.
So Kaito's still alive.
I doubt it.
Well, wait just a minute.
What? But I just summed it up so nicely.
Sorry.
Himiko, The different body you mentioned, what are you talking about?
Ooh, shit.
The bodies from the other cases. Kokichi's the mastermind, so he... Wait, the mastermind?
Yeah, Kokichi isn't the mastermind, so I don't think he'd be able to produce a body to switch out.
What? Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused?
Yes.
Very well.
C1-5.
I'll answer that.
You're giving in pretty easily.
Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair.
Yup.
This discussion is pointless if it's not clear what the culprit was allowed to do, right?
You're a convenient mastermind, but I guess that makes defeating you worth my time.
Now then, regarding the reuse of a dead body. That is impossible!
Oh.
All the dead bodies have already been thrown away.
Okay.
Thrown away?
The other bodies are gone? Then who did Kaito switch places with?
Maybe he switched place with a can of paint from the painting arm. Kokichi and Kaito were the only ones in the hangar at that time. If they were the only ones present during the body swapping trick, then the real victim was the two people who switched places in the hydraulic press, the other person in the hangar. If it wasn't an old body, it could only be
What's wrong, Shuichi? Who did Kaito switch places with?
a can of paint.
Maki, I think I missed something very important here.
Kaito's the mastermind. Holy shit,
Something
Kappa.
important?
If I have the timeline right, there were only 2 people in the hangar at that time, which means that something had to have been decided before. I have to pin that down. Can't let anything escape me this time. Hangman. Ooh, there's a long one. Victim again. Victim. Guess some letters. Victim. Height? No. There's no G's. Victim helper? Whoops. Victim helped? Victim helped.
I can't believe I overlooked this.
What do you mean?
Way to go, ultimate
There
detective.
were only 2 people in the hangar at the time the bodies were swapped. Which means they were working together.
True, they couldn't have. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That makes sense.
Working together?
The only 2 people
Purple hair
involved
gang,
in the
rise
swap
up.
were the victim and the culprit. The culprit was operating the camera and the hydraulic press, while the victim lay inside. If they switched places while the press and the camera were stopped, then the person who turned the camera and the press back on was the original victim. To put it simply, both people operated the press and camera at different times.
You gonna squish me, bro? I'll squish you, bro. I got this.
Impossible trick, unless the victim and culprit agreed to cooperate beforehand.
The victim and culprit cooperated? Is that even possible?
It sounds bizarre,
Right.
but perhaps that was the whole point.
I've heard of Imagine agreeing to be squished between like Amazonian thighs, but never in a
What
hydraulic
crime that
press.
was so confusing, even Monokuma would be tricked.
Jeez, this culprit's a real jerk. So, have you realized who done it yet?
The culprit of the case. If My detective work hasn't failed me. The culprit is inside that Exisal. It can only be them. Kaito? If they switched, it has to be him. Big brain?
The apparent victim we saw in the video was Kaito, which means Kokichi was operating the hydraulic press and camera at first. If the two of them switched while the press was stopped,
Blech.
then the culprit who started the hydraulic press again and crushed Kokichi must be Kaito. So, the person inside that Exisal isn't Kokichi.
It's me.
It has to be Kaito.
The person inside the Exisal is the friends we made along the way. Quite literally.
So the culprit for this case is Kaito Momota. That is what the ultimate detective has deduced, right?
Kaito is the culprit? What? You're joking, right? You can't be serious.
I don't want to believe it either, but it's the only way any of this makes sense. My detective work has led me to the conclusion that Kaito is the culprit.
That's rough, buddy.
Is that true? Is Kaito really in there?
Hey, answer us! If you really are Kaito, then...
I'm the culprit.
No, I'm the culprit. Huh?
There's just no way that Kaito can still be alive.
Maki, you're just pulling shit out of thin air.
Because I'm the culprit.
Oh, okay. I'm
Wait,
convinced.
You? But didn't you say...
I saw it with my own eyes. Kokichi drank the antidote that he stole from Kaito. There's no doubt Kaito died.
Maybe he lied
And
about
he died
drinking
because
it.
of my poison arrow.
Maybe he drank it but held it in his mouth, and then when Maki was gone, he like deep kissed Kaito and spat the poison into his mouth.
But you told us you
Or
didn't want to
spat
kill
the
Kaito.
antidote in.
Yes, I never wanted to. I wanted to believe that I didn't kill him. But the truth speaks differently. In the end, I was just running away from the facts.
Huh? I don't understand.
Dude, Maki is inting. Maki, are you trying to protect Kaito? If he's the culprit, you're trying to help him get away?
There was only one antidote, so it's more likely he died from my poison arrow. This is the truth.
It's not decided yet. I could have still killed him with the hydraulic press.
What the fuck is going
Either way,
on?
those are the two options. Monokuma knows the answer, right?
Huh? Are those the only options?
I guess that's how things turned out.
No, that can't be. The person in that Exisal is...
It's not Kaito! I saw Kokichi drink the antidote! There's no mistake. Kaito is dead. I killed Kaito. There is absolutely no doubt. That's the truth.
I thought so. Maki's trying to protect Kaito. I understand how she feels, but if Kaito is the culprit, why did he agree to Kokichi's plan? I can't imagine that Kaito would do something so selfish. There must be a reason for it. I truly believe that. But I have to get to the bottom of this before I can uncover that truth.
But Maki, you don't know for certain that Kokichi drank the antidote.
What?
You saw him drink it right in front of you, but you couldn't confirm he actually did it.
Deep
So
kiss
maybe
theory, go.
There's another possibility.
What are you talking about? Impossible. That's impossible. There is no other possibility. I killed Kaito!
All right, I'll vote for you then. Bye.